What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Nightwing issue number 127. This one is written by Dan Watters with artwork by Dexter Soy. And this issue kind of goes to explain a little bit more about that weird character puppet master guy that's been kind of hanging around the book since Dan Watters had taken over. Now we're getting to more of the weird, bizarre stuff, but we're actually getting a little bit more of an explanation too about where this being is from. It seems like strange, like between this and like Batman and Robin, it seems we're getting some sort of like eldritch cosmic type horror stuff within these books. And with the whole thing, the Zanny or whatever, the Cirque du Soleil puppet master thing, we do see that he does like come from the fifth dimension, and we see the return of Nightmite within this issue. You know, the big Nightwing fan that Tom Taylor had showcased beforehand. Again, it's Dan Watters, so you know it's going to get into the bizarre stuff at some point. It can be grounded for a little bit, but that bizarreness, it's just too tempting. It's like the Green Goblin mask calling to him like Willem Dafoe in Spider-Man No Way Home. Coward, we have a new world to conquer. But hey, you know what? It's still pretty good stuff right now. The Dexter Soy artwork is really excellent. So at first we see the kid right there, the one who was kind of looking up to Nightwing, the one with the gun or whatever. We see Melinda getting ready to go like give some big speech to the people of Blüdhaven. And we have Dick and Babs together. He's just kind of sitting and chilling in the tower. And he's got a lot of things on his mind right now, but Babs is there to kind of provide the moral support to him that he kind of needs in the moment, because you know he's trying to balance 100 things at once. He also talks a little bit about the kid he has to worry about, which is the Bryce Moran. You know what, like he was running with the teddies and all that, looking up to Dick Grayson. He's like, you know, there's a kid running around with a gun or a weapon of sorts, and what am I supposed to do? Kind of, it's like, you know what, you've gotten so many people before. People look up to you. I mean, she didn't mention Damien by name, but like that's a prime example of somebody who've helped kind of turn things around a bit better. So we got that going on. We also have the head of Spheric Industries, and then Melinda Grayson or whatever kind of has a little bit of a breakdown of sorts on the stage, and ends up kind of going into the hospital at one point. I think she gets shot or something along the lines of that. I don't exactly know what happened there. She just said, "Help us," and then boom, she just kind of like collapsed right on the stage right there. So you got that going on. It's never given a full explanation for what's happening. So then Nightwing goes, he's going to go check out things. And we also have Nightmite, who's been kind of narrating over things in the issue. And as he's kind of talking, the weird Zanny creature pops up at one point, and he's like, I'm reclaiming this dimension for the Cirque. And yeah, I'm taking over. And Nightwing's like, wait, how can you do this? How are you doing this to me? So that was kind of an interesting twist there. You had Nightwing, and then you had this other character take over the narration, kind of breaking the fourth wall, if there really is one in terms of comic books or whatever you call it. And then he ends up trapping him as the issue kind of goes on. And then, of course, Nightwing goes to find his sister, but people are in kind of a daze because the weird fifth dimension creature has made its way to Titan's tower, and he's got to go and help Babs. And again, the weird nightmare stuff, like I said, this is just pure Dan Watters stuff. And you look at all the weird creepy looking faces out of this thing. And so he's there, he meets the head of Spheric Industries, who has kind of weaponry to deal with the fifth dimension, and he's caught in a weird place where he kind of has to maybe accept this stuff and then go to the core of it all. Of course, the kid, Bryce, that's been following around also had broken into Titan's tower, so he's got Babs and that trapped in there, and of course, Nightmite. So if he just stayed put, then he probably would have dealt with this thing, like, head on. I'm surprised no other Justice League members or anyone's, like, coming in at this point, because we were dealing with a weird, giant monster creature from the fifth dimension. Then I'd expect someone to kind of show up at some point. But then again, this is a difference between this and the previous run of Nightwing, where everybody would show up for the littlest thing when it came to helping out in Blüdhaven. But here nowadays, it's like, you're on your own, Dick Grayson, which does add to the stakes and makes it interesting to see him kind of work his way out of different situations. But for an example like this, where it's like outside the normal crime boss thing and a giant purple goo monster is attacking the city, I feel like more people should try to show up. But hey, that's just me. And of course, the end of the issue, he finds Nightmite, who is trapped, and it's like, please, please, for the love of God, help me out. And that's the end of part one. So we also, like I said, the threat level is definitely elevated this time around, especially considering like what he's been, you know, dealing with, like finding out where that whole weird guy that we've been kind of seeing from the shadows has connections to the fifth dimension. That raises the stakes considerably too, because like when you deal with the fifth dimension stuff, like reality just kind of goes right out the window. which, like I said, is tailor-made for anything Dan Waters related. So, again, it adds to the stakes. It's still pretty good stuff overall. But again, a lot of this did feel like we were kind of setting things up for the next arc that we have going on here. So, and learning a little bit more and seeing how Night Might is integrated into this is kind of interesting too. And I'm looking forward to seeing where we go from here. This has still been a pretty good run so far. Like I said, I like the stuff with Melinda Grayson, Zuko Grayson, Lynn, whatever you want to call her. And I'm not exactly sure why she kind of collapsed her, but it looked like it kind of all just taken a toll on her, and she just went boom out like that. Or maybe there's some other external factors involved, but we shall see. So, and of course, the whole thing with Night Might too, and Spheric Industries giving him, just happened to have this tech on hand to deal with fifth dimensional stuff, which is Nightwing, and then you had the Zania or whatever, which seemed to be connected to the head of Spheric and all that. So it seems like they want Nightwing to use this tech to like set up a situation where he destroys Night Might. That's where I'm kind of going with in this thing. But then he has to try and help him and help Babs and help the kid who's looking at him as a sort of mentor going forward. So interesting stuff overall. What did you think of the issue? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that other fun stuff. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.